All right, we are burning brush today. Sorry I didn't get the lighting ceremony video, but the landlord came out because he wanted to watch, since he's never, being a city boy, he's never seen anybody light a fire that way before. Which there wasn't, I mean, nothing ordinary or out of the ordinary about it. It was 2 tires and a straw bale soaked in oil and diesel fuel, which this was honestly, because it's a bunch of dead, nasty crap, the most uneventful fire I've ever lit. This is his dog. She's nice. Her and Teeter match each other's energy. Lily's not here just because she's... Lily, we need to get more used to being around equipment and get her more used to staying around on her own instead of wandering off. But anyway, because this pile's all so old and dead, it just... I laid a tire in there, or made a hole with the bucket, laid the tire in there, set the bale on top of it, soaked it in oil, lay the other tire on top of the bale, lit the bale, and it just lit. The big thing's gonna be getting everything, because I doubt, it might try to spread, but I think my hot spot's gonna stay here, so this is all gonna have to get pulled around on top. But it's a nice thing about the excavator. And I got a couple little trees and or some small trees and stuff I got to pull out for him. He wants that bush thing gone, and there's some scraggly stuff in there he wants gone. And I got to throw these chunks on here. So I think while it's getting going, we're going to go ahead and get that stuff done, because it won't take that long. There's not a whole lot. I'll get the stuff that requires yanking out, and then next spring I'll bring the tractor and brush hog over and brush hog the rest of it, and that'll be that. Snowmobilers out here trespassing. That's what those green streaks are. They're snowmobile tracks. If it's white, they have a right to ride on it. They'll cut across people, they'll cut across private property. They'll go pretty much anywhere. There's a snowmobile club with dedicated trails, but they don't feel any need to stay on the trail. mother decided she had to ride. I think she got tired of walking back and forth. Chunks of log to pick up, and it pretty much takes care of the stuff you wanted ripped out for now. I might push this dirt pile down for it. Hopefully there's not a dead body or something buried in there from the last guy that owned this house. That guy you never really knew. Big enough I can't get more than one in the bucket at a time. Alright, it's a few hours later since I saw you last. I went home and had lunch and let this thing do its thing, because it was getting to the point where I needed to stop messing with it and let it just start making a bed of coals, because I kept fidgeting with it and I think I just kept slowing it down. But it may not look like much, but it's burning pretty good there in the center. The hot spot actually started here. This is where I started it. And when I got back from lunch, it had creeped up into the center, so I took the pile and pushed it up on top of the hot spot and been dragging stuff around. And unfortunately, that wood's pretty wet, which is part of the reason it's burning so slow, but it also helps keep it under control, because if it was dry, this stuff would be a damn near uncontrollable tinderbox right now. So I guess that knife cuts both ways. It burns slow, but it's easy to keep it under control that way. But I've been pulling, there was big hunks of firewood and stuff over there in the corner, like big, hadn't been split, like big rounds. I've been laying them up on top, and every time you set a chunk on top, it gets into that updraft heat stream, and it just starts rolling steam. So that stuff's pretty soaked. But I'd like to get my chain, I'd like to get it burnt down a little bit more and then get my saw out and cut up some of the longer stuff that's on the back side and get it thrown on top and kind of consolidate the pile. But we'll let it burn for a while. And we're gonna go deal with this little pile of dirt over here. I like how it's warm enough right now we don't even need gloves. Because everything's so wet right now, and if you do wear gloves, they're so soaked that within 10 minutes they're just about worthless. I get done messing with this, we'll walk around a little bit and see what little bit we can see out here in the hay. not a hole anywhere. I'll be able to do because it's so swampy or muddy right now. Tell you what, it took it a few hours to get its feet under it and get going, but once it went, holy cow. Every time I throw more on top, it just gets hotter and hotter and hotter. But I gotta let it burn down a little bit so I can throw more stuff on top. So there's these log lengths here that need to get pulled out and lobbed up real quick so that I can throw them. But let it burn a little bit before I do that. So while we're here, we'll walk out here, and you're not gonna be able to see much because it's still pretty snow covered, but although from what is melted off here, it got fairly well established before things finally froze off. Oh wow, that's a big pond. The deer have been out here. Kind of a bald spot right there. I wonder what that's all about. That's a lot of water. Oh, not only were they riding through here, they were out here fucking turning around and just doing all sorts of stuff, huh? Oh wow, this is a lot of water. Now that I see the lay, now it kind of makes sense, because now that you can see where the water lays, looks like there's a swale that actually comes through the woods there, goes along the front of the power lines, and then goes off. You can see there's a swale that goes down through there. So as long as we don't have any major rain events during the summer, it should be all right. I was really hoping there's going to be some more snow gone so we could see just how this turned out, but looks like we're not going to get that lucky. But there is grass there, so albeit a little underwater. So that's the best I could do you as far as showing you the new hayfield. Looks like there's been some moles out here. This isn't even my property, and this pisses me off. There's nobody's got permission to ride sleds through here, so there's trails back in that woods that have been there since like the 60s. Dad and his friends used to ride them all. Actually, Dad and his friends are the ones that cut a lot of them in there. Back in the day, I guess they had trails where you could ride like damn near 3 towns worth of travel and only have to cross roads. They had so many trails cut through here because it was all farmers and they knew everybody and everybody knew everybody and nobody cared. But that's all changed since then. And now the guy that owns this and the guy that owns that, he actually owns part of this woods. There's part of this woods that belongs here, and then there's part of the woods, the big chunk of the woods is owned by my buddy. But they've been having issues with people still trespassing back there. They come in off the road, they drive through this corner, or they drive through this field. It's just, people have no respect for property anymore. But anyhow, she's chooching pretty good, so keep on keeping on. Well, for dang near having itself burn out right after lunch, it pretty much pulled the fourth quarter comeback, and now I'd say 75% of the base of the pile is on fire all at the same time. I got most of the big stuff thrown up on top. There's a few chunks, there's a few log lengths on that other side yet. I didn't want to pull out for fear that the pile would fall over, because they're kind of holding that side of it up. So I just kind of pulled them apart a little bit to get an air gap in there, so hopefully the fire can get up under them and do its thing. But if it would have lit off that quick when I first got here this morning, it'd probably be damn near gone by now. But we'll probably come over here first thing tomorrow morning, stack it back up, come over here tomorrow around lunch, stack it back up, and then come over here tomorrow just before dark and stack it back up, and hopefully by that point we can haul the excavator out of here too. So, but I think tomorrow we're going to go back to working on the applicator. We'll just have to see what the weather's like, as to whether we start putting the squeeze pump or the piston pump back together, or if we go back to the toolbar, because they're saying we have chances of rain tomorrow, or rain tomorrow morning anyhow. So remember guys, all I had to do to get the rest of my corn off was just leave the tires on, wait for the ground to freeze. That was all I had to do. Just remember that. I gotta keep harping on that, because it's just that's what I needed to do. So anyhow, that's what we got coming up for tomorrow. So I guess with that being said, I'm gonna sit here for a minute longer and watch my handiwork and call her a night. So that's it for this one. We'll catch you guys on the next one.